The high-grade Zowort Heavy, an articulation letdown. What's going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at the Zowort Heavy, a grunt suit from the Witch from Mercury kit. This kit was released in 2023. Yeah, it was another Hobby Lobby purchase. You know I love my 40% off. If you haven't been to Hobby Lobby during that sale, make sure you check it out. They usually get a few good models here and there. So taking a look at this box, I do absolutely love the Witch from Mercury box art. It's just kind of light, it's easygoing, it's nice, it's appealing to the eyes, and they just get all the details in here. As far as this kit goes, you can see how menacing it looks on the cover, and I do love the grunt suits. You guys know that about me. I absolutely love grunts. Army green makes this especially appealing to me. Preference thing, but obviously I do love it. I hope you guys enjoy it too. I can't wait to get into this unboxing. Let's get into it. So opening it up, you can see that there's not a ton of runners in here. That's kind of standard with the Witch from Mercury kits. You can see here, I do love the color details and the nice layout of the runners on this high grade. Something that Bandai has done more recently with kits and have got a better appeal to it. Way more builder friendly for sure. And then a quick look here is a couple of different posing for position, and then also a little bit of information about the mech along with some color guides if you want to actually custom paint it to match. And one last quick look at that cover art. I just love the Witch from Mercury art. Man, it's so good. So getting into the actual splits, you have a decent solid bend, not the full splits, but I was surprised by how far it actually went up. And then you can actually have a good amount of rotation right there at the hip as well. There is a little bit of blockage because of the extra magazine covers on the front when you're going into your leg lift, but if you come off to the side a little bit, you do have a little bit more lift into those legs. All the ways back, no problem. He can touch his own ears from the backside if he really wanted to. Then going into the actual adjustments in the knee, you can see nice bend coming back. There is a little bit of blockage just because of the bulky armor and the way it's laid out, but it kind of bends into it nicely and lays kind of flat against each other, so that kind of makes up for some of that bend. But you can see there, again, a little bit of limitation because of the armor. Moving down to the foot, you can see there is a lot of bend in that toe section. Then there's a nice bend right there at the ankle. It's a ball joint going into a separate ball joint, so there's actually multiple ways that this foot swings. Swings forward really high and well if you want to have a couple of different spots. I actually found the most articulation was in the feet on this kit. So it does kind of add to that posing. And I assume based on how heavy, top heavy this would have been, these feet would actually cause issues just because how narrow they are. However, I found that it actually stands pretty good without a base. Moving over to the beam cannon, you can see just a quick adjustment here that brings over. It's just a simple design, but works extremely well. And same with the missile launchers on the other side. They go right over top of the shoulders. However, unfortunately, they do not kind of sway any other way other than forwards and backwards. You can see real quick the missile launchers have a manually opening cover for those launcher effects. They're actually not connected, just so you know. They do come off separate and then you can put them on there. I know it kind of looked like I actually kept it on there, and that's just because I lose them every single time I try to do any other way. Moving into the accessories, you can take a quick look here at the beam rifle itself and the magazine that attaches on there. It slides right in there, pretty nice. It's actually pretty firm once it's in place, and I like the effect that it gives to it. And this is the standard beam rifle without the front attachment, and that is actually how you place the gun onto the armor. Here is the additional attachment that makes it that long beam gun with also a grenade launcher attachment underneath. Not actually an attachment, it's all one solid piece, but below the barrel there. And that actually makes it the heavy equipment accessory for the actual heavy Zowort. So placing it into the holding hands, it actually slides underneath, sits down firmly, and the ball joint popped out a little bit, but actually stays in there pretty firm. I did see where the attachment of the additional pieces would kind of come loose a little bit, and you know, it doesn't make a great connection. As long as you're not messing around with it too much, it actually stays in place pretty good. So that magazine, there's actually an additional place to store it. I don't personally like it myself just because it actually prevents a lot of movement with the chest. It sticks up really high, and so you have to, yeah, they pop right into those pegs right there. Sorry about the camera, guys. But they pop right into the leg, and then you can find where it does sit in that. I'm not a big fan. I actually thought it went the other way where they'd curve down, but I went back to the manual to look. You do get the two beam sabers with the hilts. I love that they're in a green, not a gray or anything like that. I honestly enjoy that. You get two with this kit, and they come right off. Just a simple peg like the standard beam. I absolutely love the way this is stored on the kit. Personally, it just slides right in there, tucked in neatly underneath the arm. Unfortunately, you can't do the beam effect out from underneath the arm like that because it uses the same peg hole to actually attach it to the elbow area, I guess it would be. So overall, this kit does look extremely well. I mentioned the live build a few times. It is a very, very armor core design with those larger upper body, the backpack weaponry, and then the smaller arms and legs. It just got that armor core vibe. And I was curious, does this go into the gun cannon pose extremely well? You let me know what you think below. I'm leaning towards no. And to my headaches for recording this video. Start off with the connection of the ball joint from the shoulder into the actual chest. This overextends past where it can get, so you actually have to, I had to pull it out constantly with a pair of my tweezers just because I couldn't get my fingers in there. If you extend the arm too far up on the side, it actually comes off that C-clip there that attaches into the shoulder joint. But unfortunately, because of the way the armor is set up on the shoulders, it does not allow for that much side adjustment. Then I've constantly had issues with things popping off as I was trying to replace and reposition these as well. Another issue, I did not like the way that these missile launcher covers are on. As I mentioned earlier, I would lose them every single time that I would do that. I would drop at least one. You have 4 chances. What's the odds, right? So my final thoughts is this kit looks very good. It stands well. However, you're very limited in your posing, so I would actually pass on this kit unless you're trying to complete a collection. Just so many other good options out there, and while this does look good, it is lacking for sure. Thanks for watching. Until next time, love.